6 years later, I own one of the cars that I filmed that day.
Meet James, aka the Stradman. He's amassed one of the largest automotive followings and has invested a large percentage of his earnings directly into his car collection. He was nice enough to give us an insider tour of his garage for the first official episode of YouTube Whips. We're here in the beautiful area of Salt Lake City, Utah with Mr. Stradman himself, James. We're gonna be going through most, if not as many as we can, of his 16 or 17 or 15 or 18 vehicles. That's fair.
That sums it up, absolutely.
So we're at his home, where some of his main vehicles are, including a Murcielago, Veyron, 2 Aventadors, Gladiator, a T-Rex, and a mini Countach. So we're just gonna kind of go around. This is the first official episode of YouTube Whips. You were the first guest ever.
Oh, amazing.
You're starting the series out. I figured it was good to launch it with you, so I feel like we start with the bug.
Yes.
The goal of today's episode is at least to tell us some things about some cars that people might not know. This is kind of the flagship. I mean, everyone wants a Bugatti.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I've heard your story before. I'm sure a lot of people have heard your story. I'm sure you never thought you'd own a Bugatti.
No.
You were living in a garage at one point. What's the story with this? How did it feel to buy it?
Yeah.
Talk to us.
So 2008 Veyron, 1,000 horsepower. Crazy thing about this car, I filmed this car when I had around 2,000 subscribers.
Okay.
Up in Sun Valley, Idaho. It was at like a top speed event.
Yep.
I remember this car did about 220 miles an hour. I filmed it that day, and then I filmed another Veyron that day, and that video went like viral. And it was that video in particular that made me realize the potential of YouTube.
Correct.
And so it's so crazy how like 6 years later, I own one of the cars that I filmed that day.
Because of the thing that it helped you realize could be so big.
Exactly. Yeah, so this is like complete dream come true. You know, fastest car in the world when it came out. It's got 4 turbos, price tag over $1 million. Car is unlike any other car. It sounds like a jet getting ready to take off. It's such an amazing car. This car is for sale just because I've had so much fun with it.
Hit the promo, dude. Hit the promo.
Yeah,
hit a sale.
Yeah.
Hit a sale.
If somebody wants to buy this, let me know. Yeah, it's an incredible car. It's a Veyron. It's a Bugatti.
The one question I'm going to use this car for, which I always talk to people about because I've experienced it on a really minor level. You seem like someone who hasn't experienced it as bad as you should have. Are you numb to cars yet?
Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being most numb?
Yes.
Probably like 7.
So you're getting there?
Yeah.
And
the thing is, like, I've loved cars my entire life. And so every time I drive my Aventador, I drive my Bugatti, it's still an incredible experience. One thing I've found is that it's so much fun to take people for a ride who've never experienced it, because then it kind of takes me back to that first moment I owned a Veyron, the first time I drove a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
So I love sharing the cars for that reason, because unfortunately it is human nature, you kind of get numb to things.
Yeah. Moving on to probably the most rare car in your collection.
I think so. This is a 40th anniversary Murcielago. So there's only 50 of these in the world. All 50 are painted in this color. It's called Verde Artemis, which is one of my favorite colors ever. The car is filthy because I actually do drive this car a lot. This one's number 19 out of 50. And so it is extremely rare. I saw 40th anniversary when I was probably 14 or 15 years old. First Murcielago I ever saw in Oregon.
You probably had no idea, or did you have an idea?
I knew exactly what it was. I knew exactly
Look at
what
me
it
making
was.
false assumptions.
Yeah, but ever since then, the 40th anniversary has always been one of my favorites, just because I have that like childhood connection. That's really kind of like all the cars I sort of have that childhood connection to. That's really why I buy the cars that I do.
Also, gated manual.
Gated manual.
Best part about it, in my opinion, of all your cars.
Absolutely.
Say.
Agree.
How is this to drive compared to an Aventador?
This car is still pretty fast. 2003, so it's almost 20 years old. It's still pretty quick. It's got a V12, but it's really all about the gated manual.
Does that help, kind of?
Just the sounds that it makes.
Yeah.
It's just like any car with a manual, you can just kind of whip it a little bit harder. You know, downshifting is so much more rewarding in this car. It's got so much soul.
Yeah.
And it's raw. That's the thing. This car is raw. Turn traction control off. You can get her to slide out a little bit. Not too much because she's worth a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a little scary. Let's move to the Aventadors because you have 2 of them, and earlier you explained to me why. And it did make sense, unfortunately. So give it to us.
Aventador is my favorite car in the world. I just love the way the car looks, the way the car sounds when the doors go up. Like these cars, like this is a 2012 Aventador. It's almost 10 years old. Look at it. It's incredible.
Incredible.
Like the design, I think people don't appreciate the design of the Aventador enough because they built so many of them. If there was only 500 Aventadors in the world, this would literally be the coolest car in the world. You know what I'm saying?
But I think you still never see them. Unless
Well, you still
go to
don't.
like Rodeo,
No,
right?
right. But you see them all over the internet
yeah.
and stuff too. But just the design, I just love them so much. This one's a roadster, this one's a coupe, so That alone changes up the experience. This car is just like my miles car, my winter beater.
Yeah.
I got snow tires on it. I drive it constantly. I put winter tracks on it. I've skied behind it, donuts in it, taken on road trips. Like, I've done everything in this car. And then this car kind of like just fell into my lap. It was a crashed Aventador Roadster. It crashed into a police car in downtown Chicago at 4 a.m., but it was like very minor front-end damage.
Okay.
So it was the perfect car to cut up for a Liberty Walk kit. And it happened to be here in Utah. So it was just, I don't know, like the stars aligned.
Yeah.
And this car has slowly turned into my favorite car. Custom painted in Lamborghini Rosa Cantus. We got the custom interior. Liberty Walk, it has a titanium FI exhaust, sounds incredible, especially with the top down.
What does this color come from?
So this is a Lamborghini color.
From what gen?
From current. It's my understanding, it could be wrong. There are 3 Lamborghinis in the world in this color.
What are
There's
they?
a Centenario in Switzerland.
Okay.
There's an Aventador SV in Tokyo.
Sick.
And there's this car. Now those 2 are factory, this is aftermarket, but it's the same exact paint code.
So it's just a color that they just made for customers.
Yeah, and I've been told, like, you can still get it, but Lamborghini charges a premium of around $80,000 to $100,000 for this color. That's what I've been told.
Do you
I
get
don't know if
permission?
that's
Do
real.
you have to get permission to paint it, or you could just paint stuff if you get the code?
No, if you just get the code, you're good.
Lambo sends him like a cease and desist letter. Hey, we need the paint back. That's ours.
You know, I've been building this car for so long, it's finally done. I've probably done 1,000, maybe 1,500 miles in this car. You go up the canyons, you rip on this one. You go on rallies, you rip on this. Any car that's a wide body, it kind of throws off the dynamics of how it drives. This one still drives pretty good, but it's also like my baby. But when I originally bought this car, I didn't imagine it was going to turn into this. I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
But slowly over time, as you do more, like I cut it up myself and everything. You get that
that's cool.
emotional attachment, that bond to it, and that's kind of how I've fallen in love with the car.
Let's go to the Countach because it's the funniest car in here. How often do you drive this guy?
I don't drive it too often. So I'm building a house right now, and this car will be driven a lot more in the future.
Okay.
But right now, this is the only place I can put it. It is a millimeter from that wall and a millimeter from that railing, so it is so close. I have to move 3 cars to get it out. I have to move the Veyron, the Murcielago, and the Aventador just to get it out, so it's kind of a pain. This is actually my most rare car.
What is it?
So
I don't even know.
it is a Lamborghini Countach, but it's not really, obviously.
Yes.
It was built by an Italian company called Agostini, and they built 20 of these.
Okay.
So there are 20 of these in the entire world. But yeah, I mean, it's basically a baby Countach.
What engine is in it? Is it an engine?
It
Is
has
electric?
like a go-kart engine. So yeah. It's got
Wow.
like a little go-kart engine. It'll do like 20 miles an hour. And the headlights work, the blinkers work. It's incredible.
Up next is the daily driver.
Yep.
A nice daily driver to have.
It is. Have you driven a T-Rex?
No.
Bro.
And I love Raptors.
So I had a Raptor. I had a Shelby Baja Raptor
Okay.
that I just sold, and I replaced it with this. I'm a Raptor guy through and through. Love the Raptor. It's so much better.
Yeah?
Has 700 horsepower.
I know, I can't
It's got
imagine.
a Hellcat.
It's the
This
perfect
thing,
combo.
It rips like a supercar. You see a gap on the freeway, you can hit it. No
Yeah.
problem. Yeah, I love this truck so much. I need to kit this out because right now it looks kind of like plain Jane. I kind of like that for the
Yeah, it's
daily
cool.
because then it blends in more. This is like the ultimate like supercar killer.
The ultimate daily. So usable. You get a bed,
yeah.
you get 4 seats,
Yeah.
probably roomy,
Yep. Oh,
luxury, fast.
And 8 miles to the gallon.
I lied. Then disregard everything I just said.
Yeah, I love this truck. I'd be hard pressed to, like, I could sell this and probably flip it for like 15, 20K right now because the market's so crazy. It's like, well, what do I replace it with? Nothing can beat
Another
this.
thing also that's going to be 15, 20 grand more expensive anyway.
Exactly,
so.
well, yeah, exactly, yeah. That's not gonna have 700 horsepower.
Exactly. This car at your home. I've driven this car before, about 6 feet. So
And you didn't drive over
I did.
anything.
I did a little review. You know what I mean? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, driving that is a show.
Oh yeah, oh
I
it's
just
huge.
backed it out, and then I could feel like the tires are struggle to turn. When do you drive this? I mean, I guess you built this for YouTube, but why do you drive it? Why?
Why? I'm trying to think. Why do I drive that? Just because it's sick.
Yep.
There's just something about 6x6s. I don't know. It's kind of like, I've always loved off-roading. I love Jeeps. I live in Utah, but a Jeep itself is not that incredible. Like,
True.
whereas like a supercar, I see a supercar and like I freak out. Well,
Right.
this is the Jeep supercar.
I think 6x6s, I'm even gonna take it a step further. In my head, I correlate them in like a hypercar realm. For
Right.
some
No, it's true.
reason.
It's true.
If
Yeah.
I see a Chiron and a 6x6, they kind of go
They
hand
go
in
to-
hand
yeah,
in this
yep.
weird way.
Yeah.
So I get that. And do you enjoy driving it, or is it just
It
hassle?
actually drives pretty well. I haven't driven it a ton. I haven't off-roaded it quite yet. It's still like a pre-production prototype.
Okay.
Like we put a lot of hours into designing this thing, building this thing, and now that it's done, we're just putting miles on it to see how she does.
Hey guys, watch this. When the school bus comes by, watch how much size comparison. The school bus is not much bigger. not that far off. Is that because the frame is, you don't know how the frame will handle off-roading?
Basically, yeah.
Strength-wise?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we're kind of like, we're just sort of like slowly making adjustments and modifications to it to make it better and better and better before we go wheel it
So
too
you
hard.
want to off-road this car?
Oh, absolutely.
That's the goal.
Now, that being said, obviously being a 6x6, we actually made it worse off-road.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
4x4, but it's still very capable. I mean, it has locking differentials. It's a full 6x6, like it's got 6-wheel drive. So it's still somewhat capable, and Utah is like the off-road capital of the world, so we gotta go see what she can do. I took my Urus off-roading one time, and that was a disaster.
Yes.
I think this will do a little bit better than a Urus.
Yeah, I don't think Uruses were built for the...
They advertise it.
So.
Lamborghini advertised it all over.
That's why they have you take it up a ski slope on flat ground and snow and not rocks, but... Let's head to the warehouse.
Let's do it.
I've never been to any of these places, so this is all new to me. So these are his poor people cars, as he likes to call it.
I did. No, you came up with that,
as
not
I
me.
call it. The Strad warehouse, we're gonna call it that. I just need to give it a name. Does it have a name?
I just call it the warehouse, but yeah, the Strad warehouse is better. Yeah.
Yeah, self-explanatory. Now, there's some cars in here that are not his. He was kind of just explaining to me. There's a NASCAR. What is that?
Fox Body Mustang that my buddy Stefan owns.
People are gonna get so mad at me because people love those. I know that.
That is the donk.
That is actually yours. I forget that's yours.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about.
You
the
should
donk.
be hyped about the donk.
No, I'm the
it's
most.
on 28s.
We're gonna save it for the end because it's so exciting. Do you know I get in arguments about this car all the time?
What side of the argument are you on?
I'm on the RSQ8 side of the argument.
Oh, it's a Lamborghini. Dude,
No.
RSQ8? Who even is
Just
this
know
guy?
I'd rather have 2 of those with a different badge than 1 with your cool little badge you like.
It's a Lamborghini, you know what I'm saying?
Is it essentially
what
the same
I'm
car as an
saying.
RSQ8 though?
Oh, absolutely, but the bodywork's not.
True.
You know, it's
It
got
looks
that
great.
angular design.
Looks great.
You know?
We're gonna do a podcast one day where we'll rage about it. Now, Urus, why do you have it?
This is one of the saddest cars, honestly, because I don't use it enough, but I don't have where to put it. Because I can't park it outside, so it just gets dumped here in the warehouse to die.
Wait, why would you not daily this over the TRX?
Because I don't want this outside.
Why? Oh, you don't want
Because
it sitting outside?
Sitting outside, yeah.
You
Yeah.
got a wrap on it, it's good.
I know, but like...
This is like, this was built for you. They built this for
No,
you
I know.
to drive this around.
I know. That's the worst
They're
part.
like,
about
hey,
it.
we're gonna get, he has all
I
these
know.
Lambos.
When
we need to build
Lamborghini
him,
was sitting around the
Yeah.
table, they're like, we need to build an SUV for James.
because he needs a daily.
Exactly.
And then
I
sits
got
here.
one and it sits here. I know.
I mean, it doesn't
the thing
sit
is
here. Clearly it
the
gets
thing is the
driven.
T-Rex is more inconspicuous though, because like the Urus, there's not that many Uruses in Utah.
Yeah.
So it gets a ton of attention everywhere you go. I can't park it outside. It's a shame. It really is. When my house is done, this will be the daily for sure.
Every day?
100%.
So you like it?
Oh, I love it. Got winter tires on it.
Tell me
It's
the
like
exhaust.
honestly the best car. It's got an FI exhaust.
Thank God.
This
Okay.
thing is stupid loud. I can start
Listen,
it up.
you can't be
and
catless
you can make the
anywhere, I
judgment.
think.
I can start. You can make the judgment. It's loud.
We'll start it up.
This
We'll
thing's
start
loud.
it up. We
Okay.
might as well.
Okay. What did you say on camera?
This car with an exhaust and
It's
cats
quiet.
is still quiet. I have a whole video to prove it. I drove a full Novatec car. It was so boring. Okay, he makes a point. This is a point.
How was that?
It was good, but I bet you $1 million there's no kitties in there, are there?
I'm pro kitten though.
I'm pro kitten.
RSQA don't sound like that, but actually it probably could.
It
with
does
the
sound
exact same
pretty much the
exhaust.
exact
Yeah, pretty
same.
much, yeah.
I will say though, we'll give a shout out. My favorite like production exhaust is FI. I always like
Oh
FIs.
yeah,
The
yeah.
best.
They sound.
I've dealt with
so
them before.
Good.
They're great.
So good. My 458 has FI. Sounds incredible. Also.
Anytime they don't make an FI exhaust for my car, I get sad.
I know. Well, I had to make one for my C8 Corvette, which is unfortunately not here.
They made one
sadly.
for it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
so I'm
wouldn't
like
think they'd do that.
001 or whatever. Yeah. So now you can buy it. So I'm like the guinea pig. Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you have the Urus.
Yep.
I mean, that's just self-explanatory.
So this
I
was
figured
owned by
you'd have
Post
one of
Malone,
these.
which is cool.
Cool.
Yeah. What's rare about this one, it has the bucket seats in the back with the TVs, which
Whoa.
is basically impossible to find now.
That's sick.
Super cool. Smith.
Car here.
Yes,
supposedly.
the donk. This car is registered in some dude's name.
Yeah.
Who is sitting in a prison in Texas.
Sick.
So that's
Currently?
why there's current. Well, we
Have
believe
we gone
so.
to visit him?
No, but we probably should.
That is yours, a Razor.
That is my Razor. Yep.
Built it or it's stock? What
It's
is it?
completely stock. I bought it and I rolled it in 7 miles.
Nice.
So it's got a couple of dents. It's muddy. I plan to build it, but like I said, when you put a car on a lift, it goes there to die. So this is Viola Parsife. So it's a Lamborghini Viola Parsife.
So Lamborghini paints cars with this.
Yes.
Which cars?
Huracans, Performantes.
So newer?
there's-
Newer paint?
Yeah, it's a newer paint. Yeah.
Dude, that is so sparkly.
So we added a little bit more glass to this than factory.
Like Fleck?
Yeah, I kind of feel like we put too much in it. But I think in this light, it like almost exasperates the problem.
Too much in one respect that like I think like a little girl who plays Barbies would love it.
Yes.
But also it's so much different that it just catches your eye. And
it works,
really cool.
yeah.
So it
and
goes both
I think
ways.
in the sun, I don't think it'll be quite as, I don't know, we'll see. I'm waiting on wheels for this one. That's kind of why it looks a little
What are we
goofy
sitting
right
on? Just stock?
I'm sitting.
Oh yeah. Amelia, same thing. I saw hers the other day, and I'm like,
wheels, three-piece wheels are impossible to get right now. My Seat Corvette, same thing. I have a wide body kit for the Urus, same thing. I can't do it yet.
I heard parts. No one can get parts.
No, you can't get any, especially wheels. They seem to be the worst thing.
So clean car.
Yes, clean car. Yep.
Paid a lot of money because you bought one recently.
Yep. Yeah, they've gone up in value. This one's probably gone up since I bought it though.
Probably.
So yeah, Liberty Walk 458, FI exhaust.
It's like a Liberty Walk like first gen kit.
Yeah, this is the first gen. Yeah, this is the first gen. So there's like the one Amelia has is
like an LV2 or
second
something.
I don't know. I believe. Yeah, and this is the first gen.
I know nothing, so anything I just said, just pretend I don't know what I'm talking about.
Same. Also same.
You have one though, so you should.
No, I know. Yeah. I consider myself like the dumbest owner of these cars though.
No, not Lambo. So, I feel like you know everything.
Lamborghini, I know a lot of. But yeah, this is an incredible car. I love driving this car. I just need the wheels.
They're
Sounds
so good.
Amazing. It's a Spider too.
Yeah.
Top goes down. FI exhaust. Yeah, I love this car.
Is this new? You had this one?
Yeah, so I just got this. I got this in December in Miami. I drove it back to Utah.
Cool.
So 97 Super Twin Turbo. Very clean.
Is that a 2JZ?
It is, yep. I have a manual swap coming for this very soon because it's an automatic. And then I plan to do big power on this, probably like 1,300 wheel horsepower. It is amazing the amount of attention this car gets.
Yeah.
Everybody is freaking out because it's like a clean Supra.
Yeah.
That is filthy.
If you build engine, is everything else going to stay stock?
I'll upgrade the suspension, wheels, and brakes. Okay. But as far as visually, I'm not going to wide body this, no kits, no like carbon fiber, just like very clean Supra.
These are such big money right now. They're just
know.
going
It's
and
insane.
going and going.
It is insane.
Last but definitely not least.
Yes.
I'm a Porsche guy. This is sick. This is one of your good purchases.
This one is sick.
What is this?
So
it's
this
clearly
is
a 911 Safari.
Yep, this is a 91 964 911 Safari built by Kelly Moss Racing. And it is so much fun, and the fit and finish on this thing is unreal. Like all the carbon fiber right here, the integrated light bars. It's got a handbrake, obviously manual transmission, the roll cage. I mean, just the interior on this thing.
You've got like the RS Recaros.
Yeah.
Of course, you've got some plaid seats, all the handbrake.
I took this out in the desert, in the dirt.
How fun.
It drives so nice. I had my T-Rex and this out there. This was just like floating. It's like a Rolls Royce off-road.
And the
so
clearance.
well built. Yeah.
Oh, and it's a 964.
And it's supercharged. And the supercharger wine.
Wait, this is a 964 turbo chassis?
Supercharged. I feel so guilty driving this because it's so well built. It's like a showpiece, it's like a museum piece, but it's also built to rally.
But they could always fix it for you. They could always just put it right back.
Just
This is your first Porsche?
It is my first Porsche. Yeah.
Imagine your first Porsche being a Safari car. I don't know though, like when you buy a Porsche, you get hooked. You will always want Porsche.
Yeah.
This might be a weird one. I don't know if like you're gonna drive this, but like I really want a GT3 for the street. You know what I mean? Like
Right, yeah.
I don't know, but I think it will.
Every time I drive a Porsche, I'm always reminded they're the best engineered, best built cars in the world. By far.
The build quality is
just
unreal.
the way the shifter, how you, when you change gears, the steering response, closing and opening the door, like every single detail, they're the best built cars in the world.
This could be one of my favorite cars in your collection. You have a lot of expensive cars.
This car is gonna be worth a lot of money someday.
What cars you never plan on selling? What cars would you sell?
I mean, you're gonna hate me. Basically, every car in the warehouse I'll probably sell someday.
In the warehouse? That's fine.
Yeah.
I would hate you for this. Yeah,
Whereas all the cars, basically, all the Lamborghinis stay, except for maybe I'd probably sell the Urus someday.
For 2
but
hours
everything
straight?
else stays. No, probably for an LM 002 Lamborghini.
Fair.
Yeah.
Of course.
No, I mean, I like the Urus. It was one of those things where it's like the opportunity presented itself. It was a cool opportunity. It's a cool truck. The crazy thing is that's probably worth like 60,000 more than I paid for it now.
Of course. You bought it pre-market, right? Inflated.
Yeah. Yep.
And everyone wants a Urus. Everyone wants a Urus. In Cali, dude, this is like 350 G's for Urus. Do you plan on getting every Lambo at some point?
That's the goal.
for you?
I want a Diablo, an LM 002, Reventon, Veneno, Centenario.
You missed one of the most
Mira.
important ones. Even more important, you missed my favorite Lamborghini in the world, Sesto Elemento.
Wow, yeah, there's like 8 of those.
Just saying.
If I could find one, I could afford one, definitely. That car's like such a unicorn. It's like, I don't even know if you could find one ever for
That's
sale.
one of the sickest vehicles I've ever seen.
I've never seen one. No, I did see one. I saw one in Monterey years ago, but I haven't seen it since. Yeah. That is cool.
That
Sets
should
the
be,
element to
when
be
you buy
insane.
one of those, you were the Lambo guy. James, it's been a pleasure. Go check him out down below. I feel like it's not even a point. The kid's absolutely dominating the automotive industry. I mean, this is his life. So he films with all these crazy cars, including the Donk. And then maybe he'll pull that one down one day and before it dies.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Dude, pleasure. Peace.